So Mario, Jumpman Mario, has turned 35, so happy birthday, big guy. But Nintendo obviously wants to celebrate Mario's birthday, so they decided to release a Mario 3D All-Stars collection and a Mario Battle Royale called Mario 35. This seems too good to be true coming from Nintendo, so the catch? They're both going to be permanently taken off the market. There's obviously already a lot of controversy going around about the 3D Mario All-Stars thing being sold for a limited time, but in this video I'm focusing more on the Super Mario Bros. 35 Battle Royale. And I know some of you guys may be upset over that and would rather me talk about the Mario 3D All-Stars thing, but I just can't be asked. At least there are physical versions of the 3D All-Stars, so there is always going to be the possibility of buying the game later, but Mario 35 is digital only, meaning when it's gone, it's really gone forever. This kind of thing really bothers me, and I know some people are saying that maybe Nintendo is planning on releasing a better version or a newer version of the game once it's gone forever, but there's no evidence supporting that and it still just seems weird. And I know some people might not care at all or even justify Nintendo taking it down by saying that it's just a small game and it's just meant to promote Mario's 35th anniversary, but why make a game that people enjoy just to take it away from us? Like, yeah, it's a simple game and a simple concept, but that isn't a good reason to take the game away. Clearly myself and others really enjoy playing it considering the vast amount of Twitter clips posted every day. But before I attempt to convince you guys that this game is worth keeping up on the eShop, let me play a match real quick just to show you guys what the game is about.
Alright guys, a nice game of Mario. I hope nothing goes wrong. Of course I'm not going to forget the extra one up. Alright, jump on the Goomba. I don't like this game.
Anyway, so that's the actual game of Super Mario Bros. 35, just so you guys can get an idea of what it's about in case you haven't played it. But the more that I play the game, the more I'm surprised that Nintendo would even want to take this game down, because there's a lot of original ideas here that are really good. So obviously, as you can see from the gameplay, it's not just 35 emulators all running Super Mario Bros. From the NES keeping track of other people that die. There are sabotages you can do that bring certain enemies from the level you're in over to someone else's level, which I think is a really cool concept. But also, one thing I noticed immediately is that they start you with an extremely small amount of time to make it more urgent, and the only way to get more time is by killing enemies or getting power-ups that you already have. And while you do only have one life, so you have to play carefully, time is also a really big deal because it sneaks up on you before you can even tell what's going on. In the later sections of the game, the time starts counting by faster than before too, which can also come out of nowhere and catch you by surprise. In terms of sabotaging, there is also some strategy involved too, because you get to choose who you sabotage. Well, not like a specific person, but you get to choose either random, attackers, people who are low on time, or people who have the most coins. Obviously, the main goal is to survive the longest, but choosing who you attack is something that can help you win if you do it right. Of course, the decision itself isn't really that important to win, especially if you already have the skill set to win on your own. But if you happen to knock out the professional Mario 35 player by coincidentally choosing an attack that somehow targeted that guy, then good job, that's pure skill. Anyway, speaking of pure skill, it's time for today's video sponsor, which is Skillshare. I'm just kidding, I'm not actually sponsored by Skillshare, but I am sponsored by my subreddit. Go to r/Tooterp for a chance to be featured. But no one posts here, so I can't really feature anyone in this video, so... Anyway, I'm sure any of you guys that have played Tetris 99 have already seen a lot of similarities between the two games. Obviously, a big difference is Mario 35 being 35 player, while Tetris 99 is 99 player. And I actually have seen someone mention before that maybe what Nintendo is doing is keeping Mario 35 up for Mario's anniversary and then replacing it with something like Mario 99. If that were the case, it would make slightly more sense for them to remove Mario 35, but I still feel like somehow we can't trust Nintendo to make a decision that good. Don't get me wrong, I love Nintendo. They release banger game after banger game without stopping. But when it comes to decisions that should really be obvious, Nintendo repeatedly drops the ball. Of course, Nintendo is getting better at listening to everyone's critique on them, with a good example being Nintendo bringing back the jump rope game that was also said to be taken off the eShop at some point. And hey, maybe Nintendo will do the same thing with Mario 35 after all, which would be great, but until Nintendo themselves say that's what they're doing, I'm just gonna consider this option to be a pipe dream. But back to the actual game, it seems to be really well received for the most part. I know some corporate reviews of Mario 35 have rated it fairly low, but in terms of what people that actually play the game are saying, they think the game is really good, me included. Of course, there could be some improvements, like for one, the level picking system in the beginning seems kinda weird, but I assume the more you play and unlock, the more it makes sense and becomes justifiable. But that takes time to do still, and with this game apparently having a very limited lifespan, that worries me. I feel like this game has a lot more potential than even Tetris 99, especially with the meta. Obviously, Tetris 99 isn't very meta heavy, but a game like Mario 35 is going to be different. I talked earlier about how the sabotages work and how the enemies around you in the level you're going through are going to be the same enemies used to sabotage your opponents, and this tidbit of information may seem insignificant at first, but I am a Mario 35 pioneer. I have an idea that could transform the Mario 35 meta as we know it. My idea is... to camp in the water level.
Alright, so I want to camp in the water level because I feel like the water enemies would be hard. Oh, gee, okay. I feel like the water enemies would be hard to kill on land. So if we can get some kills, that'd be nice. But, oh, okay, we gotta start. That's perfect. I was about to say I don't have a fire flower, so that'd be hard. But now I'm invincible. Except now there's not that many enemies to kill. Alright, the squid is just trapping me. So, just walk under. Okay, good. Okay, we living. Alright, now we're out of the water level. Things should go smooth sailing from here.
Well, that didn't go how I expected it to, but nothing ever does. So, while we think of some more ideas to change the Mario 35 meta, let's look at the amount of work that was obviously put into this game. The reason I bring up the amount of work involved is in an attempt to support the case of Nintendo possibly having other plans with Mario 35, regardless of if it's an update or they're just planning on leaving it up after all. Nintendo had to make Mario 35 from the ground up. Like I said earlier, it's not as if they just have 35 NES emulators, like, they had to program all of this. And even though Tetris 99 is a similar concept and even has some of the same features, Mario is significantly different from Tetris, so I think it's pretty clear Nintendo isn't using the same engine. But I mean, if they are, dang, that's crazy. But seriously, the amount of work that clearly went into this would all go to waste if Nintendo really did just decide to delete the game from the face of the earth after that dreaded date. There's also a surprising amount of details in the game too, even from the first place icon being red for Mario and the second place icon being green for Luigi. They kinda did my man's dirty though, not gonna lie. But you know what? I just came up with yet another meta-changing idea. Yeah, that's right. I, the greatest Mario 35 pioneer of our era, has discovered yet another flawless meta strategy.
I'm just gonna camp somewhere with even stronger enemies this time. So I don't know if Bowser's Castle is the ideal camping map, but I mean, Bowser's a pretty strong enemy, right? Alright, so here's Bowser. Easy dub. Hopefully that kills somebody. Alright, so this level is supposed to have hammer breath. Okay, well, I was gonna say if I had fire flower, these would be easy, and we could probably kill somebody, but now I'm gonna be the one killed. Actually, you know what? Fire flower, all part of the plan. All a part of the plan. All part of the plan. Alright, now we're on the next level. Am I just trapped? I can't go anywhere.
Anyway, on the off chance Nintendo does decide to actually keep the game up on the eShop, I want to talk about the things that Nintendo could add and upgrade to help improve the game if they do that. Though, anything is better than deleting the game off the face of the earth, Nintendo. So while I've made it clear I don't expect Nintendo to do anything other than just straight up deleting the game, I really hope they don't. So while I sit comfortably in denial, I want to say that Nintendo adding 99 player support over 35 would probably be the most likely significant change added. Obviously, the only reason the number is 35 at all is because of the anniversary. And maybe the handheld Switch couldn't handle 99 Marios, though that would be pathetic. But even if that were the case, I think Nintendo would increase it to like 50 or just something other than 35, because outside of the context for Mario's anniversary, it's just a strange player limit to have. But there are a couple of things that Nintendo could add too. One being extra game modes or online multiplayer minigames of any kind like they used to have back in the day with the Mario DS games. Yeah, you know the ones. But aside from that, I think it would be really cool if they let you choose who you got to play as between at least Mario and Luigi, but it would be even better if you got to choose between the Mario 3D World cast, since that also just got ported to the Switch. And of course, the game isn't really worse by any means for lacking character selection, but if Nintendo is actually already planning on adding things, it would be nice for them to add a little extra. Anyway, now that I've said pretty much everything there is to be said about the game, it's time to play it one final time with the ultimate unbeatable strat.
Alright, so the unbeatable strat I'm talking about is not getting hit. Alright, I know it sounds hard, but trust me, if you could just not get hit, you win. It should be pretty easy. Well, I mean, you can't die. You can get hit, technically, but, you know, as long as you don't get hit again. I hate Mario.
Make a nigga wanna take a step back. I can't fuck that hoe in for ass flat. Don't need no bitch, you can have that. Fuck that shit with a motherfucking cash out. Now in her hair, shorty, man, so what? Fuck a nigga bitch, then I dip on shit. That's